Did you know that nearly one-third of all cancer cases are linked to diet and lifestyle choices? While genetics and environmental factors certainly play a role, what we put on our plates can make a huge difference in our cancer risk. You probably know that certain foods, especially those high in preservatives, chemicals, and unhealthy fats, have been found to contribute to the development of cancer over time. However, it's not just about avoiding junk food. What if I told you that some common foods in your pantry or fridge might be secretly raising your cancer risk without you even realizing it? In this video, we will reveal to you 12 cancer-causing foods you'll regret eating. Stay tuned until the end because number 11 will shock you. Now, without any further ado, let's get to it. Number 1. Processed meats. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, and hot dogs contain nitrites and nitrates, which can form nitrosamines during cooking. Nitrosamines have a reputation for being potent carcinogens. These chemicals cause cancer by damaging DNA. In addition to that, nitrosamines promote colorectal cancer. What is even worse is that nitrosamines aren't the only harmful compounds you should worry about when cooking processed meat. Cooking processed meat at high temperatures, such as when grilling or frying it, can also produce compounds called heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which are linked to a higher cancer risk. A 2010 study titled Red and Processed Meat Consumption and Risk of Incident Coronary Heart Disease, Stroke, and Diabetes mellitus examined the link between eating processed meats and developing cancer. According to the results of this study, processed meat consumption was associated with a 21% increased risk of colorectal cancer. Number 2. Red meat. Red meat includes foods such as beef, pork, and lamb. Unfortunately, overconsumption of red meat can lead to cancer. Red meat contains heme iron, which is a type of iron found inside the hemoglobin of red blood cells and the myoglobin in animal muscles. Now, you may be wondering, but isn't iron good? Well, yes and no. This type of iron is found in animal sources only and is the most readily absorbed type in our bodies. However, this type of iron can also promote the formation of N-nitroso compounds in the gut. N-nitroso compounds are known carcinogens that can damage the lining of the colon and lead to cancer. Additionally, similar to processed meats, cooking red meat at high temperatures, such as grilling, barbecuing, or frying, leads to the formation of heterocyclic amines. These compounds form when amino acids, sugars, and creatine react at high temperatures. The problem with heterocyclic amines is that they are mutagenic, meaning they can cause mutations in DNA that may lead to cancer. And to make matters worse, heterocyclic amines isn't the only compound you should worry about. When you grill meat directly over an open flame, the fat and juice from the meat will drip onto the flame. This will lead to the formation of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons can adhere to the surface of the meat. Unlike heterocyclic amines, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons are also mutagenic and can lead to DNA damage. A study was done with over 500,000 participants aged 50 to 71, who were followed for 10 years. The results show that high red meat intake was associated with a 20 to 30% increased risk of colorectal, lung, and esophageal cancer. Number 3. Microwave popcorn. There are two problems that link microwave popcorn with cancer. One problem is with the popcorn itself, and the other is in the packaging. The popcorn itself contains a substance called diacetyl, which is used in artificial butter flavoring. Diacetyl is associated with lung damage and potentially cancer. On the other hand, the lining of microwave popcorn bags contains perfluorooctanoic acid, which is linked to various cancers. Number 4. Artificial sweeteners. If you look at the back of any sugar-free snack and find out that it contains artificial sweeteners, it is better to find a substitute. Examples of artificial sweeteners you want to look for are aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose. These artificial sweeteners can be broken down inside the body into potentially carcinogenic byproducts. A recent study was conducted in 2022 about artificial sweeteners and the cancer risk associated with them. In this study, 100,000 French adults followed for 7 years. Results showed that higher consumption of artificial sweeteners, especially aspartame and acesulfame K, was associated with a 13% increased risk of overall cancer. Number 5. Farmed fish. Farmed fish can contain higher levels of contaminants like polychlorinated biphenyls and dioxins, which are carcinogenic. Not to mention, in densely packed fish farms, the fish are given antibiotics and chemicals to prevent disease. However, these antibiotics and chemicals may have long-term health effects. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 6. Sugar-sweetened beverages. Sugar-sweetened beverages contribute to obesity, which is a significant risk factor for several types of cancer. Examples of such cancers include breast, colorectal, and pancreatic cancer. Adding to that, high sugar intake can lead to insulin resistance and increased levels of insulin like growth factor. The problem with this factor is that it promotes the uncontrolled division of cancer cells, leading to the growth of the tumor mass, as indicated by the results of a 2010 study. Regular consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages can increase the risk of pancreatic cancer by 87%. Number 7. Alcohol. Alcoholic drinks such as beer, wine, and spirits can increase the risk for cancer. When you drink alcohol, it is metabolized to acetaldehyde. This is a toxic compound that can damage DNA and body proteins. Moreover, one of the main causes of cancer is reactive oxygen species. These compounds are a harmful byproduct of myriads of chemical reactions in our bodies. As we age, they accumulate inside body cells and damage cell structures, including DNA. We added alcohol to this list because it helps them. This is because alcohol increases the production of reactive oxygen species, leading to DNA damage. According to the World Cancer Research Fund and the American Institute for Cancer Research, alcohol consumption is a convincing cause of cancer at several sites, including a 10% increased risk for breast cancer per 10 grams of alcohol per day. Number 8. Hydrogenated oil. If you don't want to have any future regrets, then you should definitely avoid hydrogenated oils. Examples of them include margarine and shortening. In order to create these foods, they undergo a process called hydrogenation. The hydrogenation process creates trans fats, which can promote inflammation and are linked to various cancers. Number 9. Charred foods. Charred foods such as grilled meats and barbecue foods can potentially lead to an increase in cancer risk. When cooked at high temperatures, charred foods can produce heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons that we talked about earlier. According to a publication in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute, high consumption of grilled meats is associated with a 50% increased risk of pancreatic cancer. Number 10. Non-organic fruits and vegetables. The issue with non-organic fruits and vegetables is that pesticides are used to prevent pest damage. However, these pesticides leave a residue. The residues of certain pesticides have been linked to cancer. Persistent organic pollutants can accumulate in the body over time. In 2014, the pesticide residues in fruits and vegetables were analyzed and correlated with cancer incidence in agricultural workers. It was revealed that occupational exposure to pesticides was associated with a 20 to 30% increased risk of various cancers, including non-Hodgkin lymphoma and leukemia. Number 11. Dairy products. This is probably the most unexpected food on our list. Dairy products such as milk, cheese, and yogurt can sadly lead to cancer. This is because dairy can contain natural and synthetic hormones that may promote the growth of hormone-dependent cancers. In addition to that, high levels of insulin growth factor 1 from dairy consumption can promote cell proliferation. According to results of a study published in the International Journal of Cancer in 2011, high dairy consumption was associated with a 7% increased risk of prostate cancer. Number 12. Highly processed foods. Highly processed foods like snack cakes, packaged cookies, and chips should be avoided. Many of these processed foods contain additives and preservatives that have been linked to cancer. Not only that, but highly processed foods can also lead to obesity, which is a risk factor for several types of cancer. A 10% increase in the proportion of highly processed foods in the diet is associated with a 12% increased risk of overall cancer. So these were the top 12 cancer-causing foods you'll regret eating. Now we want to hear from you. Which of the foods we mentioned surprised you the most? Did you eat any of them regularly as a part of your diet? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.